Now, I think it really depends who you ask as, an AFL fan on what opinion you're going to get on the mid-season draft. Again, a lot of people will tell you that it's a great thing and it's a good opportunity for young players who wouldn't most likely get drafted normally to come through the system with, again, different competition in the draft pool, as well as teams to go out and get some very, very good young players like we've seen, Newcomb, and I guess to a less extent of young player in like a Marlon Pickett through the mid-season. But then there will be some people who just flat out tell you that no, the mid-season draft is booty cheeks and 95% of the players will end up being duds. And even though, yes, this is semi-true that there is a much more higher dud to good player ratio, there have just been way too many good players, in my opinion, that have come out of the mid-season draft to, I think, rule it as a bad thing or rule it as any negative thing towards the AFL at all. Again, after all, Marlon Pickett was a mid-season draft pick to the Richmond Football Club and debuted in his first ever game in an AFL Grand Final. That was a premiership win in like 100-point demolishing of the GWS Giants. Again, you can't make this shit up. That story is absolutely insane. Giant Newcomb is one of Hawthorn's best players at the moment and was a mid-season draft pick. Jacob Blight was a mid-season draft pick and is absolutely killing it right now for Richmond. Ryan Marrick was a mid-season draft pick and is killing it right now for West Coast. Jai Cully was having an insane run for the Eagles before he tore his ACL. Again, mid-season draft pick. How could I not mention Massimo D'Ambrosio, who is absolutely cooking your favorite team right now for Hawthorn, was a mid-season draft pick. Again, there is a ton of guys there. Other guys, 100% that I'm missing. Again, I think even off the top of my head was Menzie, and was even Durham a mid-season draft pick? Look, doesn't matter. End of the day, I am absolutely kind of going on a yap fest here, but also proving that the mid-season draft is extremely effective. And I believe coming into now 2025, there will be a ton of other players competing for this mid-season draft who are very, very good guys who I think could very much make an effect on another team. Again, one of my best friends in Charlie Orchard, who plays for the Dandenong Stingrays, had a very, very high hope to, of course, make the draft in 2024. Again, there was a lot of teams that were interested in him. He was just a very, very late bloomer and had a couple of back injuries, which unfortunately prevented him from getting drafted. But a guy like him has his eyes set right now on making the 2025 AFL draft, where it's the mid-season, the national, whatever it's going to be, and he is absolutely working his ass off to do it. And he's playing some very good footy. But the guy I wanted to personally talk about today is in a very similar situation to Charlie, where he was actually a 2024 AFL draft player who just didn't get picked up for a couple of reasons. One, which I think was probably his height, which unfortunately in today's day, it's kind of stupid that the height of a player is stopping clubs from potentially selecting them, because I mean, there's so many shorter players in the games like Nick Watson and, Caleb Daniel, Liam Baker, the freaking new guy from Freo, who are absolutely killing teams left, right, and center. Again, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm actually speaking about Massimo Raso, who is currently playing for Richmond's VFL. Again, a player who missed out in the 2024 draft, who is currently now playing VFL, absolutely trying to prove that he belongs in the AFL. Again, at 171 centimeters tall, he plays as a small forward who can move up the ground. Again, has insane pressure. His speed is really, really good. But I think what's interesting right now and really shining on the scoreboard, especially for the Tigers, does happen to be his goal kicking. Again, he most recently had a 3-goal game for the Tigers, and I believe the week before that had, I think, 3 goals as well. And then a couple of weeks before that, he was continuously hitting the scoreboard and putting in a ton of really good performances. Again, the Tigers are currently, at the time of making this video, 3-0 in the VFL and are looking like they have an absolutely insane VFL team yet again. And this is not the first time Richmond have had an insanely good VFL team. Again, I think they've been quite known as having one of the best VFL programs for quite a while now, winning a flag, making a couple of grand finals, continuously making the finals as well, and producing really good players who have made the AFL. Again, not only have they had, of course, Jimmy Trezise and Tyler Young, who play for Richmond right now, but Sam Davidson, of course, who plays for the Dogs, was a Richmond player. I think D'Ambrosio were also Richmond players as well. Again, there's definitely a couple others I'm forgetting, but I definitely have a big belief right now that not only will Massimo Raso be an AFL player, I think very, very shortly, but I wouldn't be surprised if the mid-season was to happen today, if he was to potentially go with the first overall pick, because I think a lot of teams could use a guy like Raso, especially considering not only does he hit the scoreboard, but he's also, it looks to be, a great pressure player. He gets a fair bit of the ball as well, and he's playing on a really, really good team that has had proven success and countless of times where they have proven they can dish out great VFL players to the AFL, program. Again, very, very good VFL program the Tigers have. I just think he will be the guy I think we all have to watch out for. And I think that's why I'm making this video today, because there's a lot of guys who will be contending for the mid-season draft. Again, different guys here and there from all walks of life. There could be some more mature-aged guys. Again, I know he wasn't a mid-season pick, but Sean Manor just proved that a mature-age guy can play in the league and convert so well. Marlon Pickett's done it. So many other guys. Sam Lloyd, Nathan Broad, and Kane Lambert from the Richmond team as well. We're all like 22, 23 years old when they all got picked up. Again, a guy like Massimo Raso, the best part about him, I think, as well, is that he's not even old. We are talking about right now a 19-year-old guy. This is a 19-year-old man. Again, will he grow anymore? Probably not. I haven't personally grown since I was, I think, 14. So I disbelieve, I choose to disbelieve that people can grow past 14, even though they 100% can. But small chance even as well that he grows a little bit more and, again, gets into the AFL, and I think maybe gets to the height they more want him to be. But even if he stays at 171 to 173, as I said, there's so many guys at that height or shorter right now, like Liam Baker, Nick Watson, Caleb Daniel, and there's probably another 5 guys I'm just not thinking about at the top of my head. But I just don't think height should define if a guy gets drafted or not. If this man right now is absolutely putting in all the work, continues to kick these like large sum of goals for a small forward for Richmond, there is no point and no reason why this man shouldn't be drafted. Now, look, I would love him to go to Richmond. I think it'd be awesome if he went to Richmond. They are currently building a pretty good small forward brigade over there with Seth Campbell, like low-key being a top 5 small forward this year. Like, where the hell did that come from? Mansell's doing his thing. Steely Green does his thing. Morris, I don't know if he'll ever be that good. He's not really getting in the AFL. But the thing is with Richmond right now, it's interesting because they currently have the 4th, I think, overall pick in the mid-season if they do get it. Like, they don't have an open roster spot just yet. And you want to say touch wood they don't get any injuries. But essentially, most mid-season spots are open because a team will have a long-term injury in the AFL. And Richmond just don't have that. They've got ACL boys, but they're all expected to come back this year. Again, West Coast have one because they've, of course, got Dom Sheed out. And there's a ton of other teams that have one as well. But my genuine fear is that the Tigers miss out on another great mid-season player. Again, so many have happened that they just haven't been able to select due to teams having higher picks. Like, I'm guessing the Tigers probably would have loved to have D'Ambrosio. For whatever reason, I mean, he's not on Richmond right now, and I believe he came from their VFL, so they would have loved to have him, but they don't because other teams get in. The other teams know that Richmond have a great VFL program and know that the AFL team has had so much success and arguably the most success that teams are just going to unfortunately continue to, I guess I don't want to say leech off Richmond's VFL, but there have been a lot of players come out of Richmond's VFL, whether it's their fault that they didn't pick them up or not, that teams have just been able to get. Because again, a dude like Sam Davidson, Richmond just weren't drafting him, and the Dogs came in and took him, and look at what a beast he is. Like, it's just the reality of how everything is. So Richmond might not get this guy. He could very well go to West Coast. I mean, they could use a small forward for sure over there, and it would be a really nice building piece to continuously add to the young core that they're trying to build there. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Raso continues to go. Will he continue to be a very good player? And who goes into the mid-season and who doesn't? Like, how that's, of course, going to go. Again, as a footy channel, I'm going to be 100% watching and paying very close attention to this, and hopefully giving you guys continuous updates on how the mid-season draft is going to go. So if you haven't already, you got to subscribe to the channel for that. You just have to subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, what the hell are you doing with your life, man? But of course, it would also be very important, I guess, make me feel very happy if you guys also left a like on this video to let me know you guys enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel for latest footy content, AFL content, news, theories, all of the above. Again, subscribe to my gaming channel, which will also be getting linked in the description down below as well. But yeah, as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.